Malik D, your financial credit guru, the hitmaker of the school. Welcome back to the next episode of The School. And for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, The School, that doesn't know who Malik D, your financial credit guru, the hitmaker of the school is, I am a financial credit consultant that's been involved in this financial space for over 30 years and have changed thousands and thousands and thousands of individuals' lives by helping them restore their personal credit and to help them build and restore their business credit. So I just want to put that out to you guys for those of you who does not know who Malik D, your financial credit guru, the hitmaker of the school is. You can also visit me on my website, www.malikdavis.com, for the fast track credit cleanup service program services that I offer. But anyway, let me introduce you guys to my co-host, Mr. Dan Green with Green Financial, tax accountant. Brother Dan, how you doing this evening?
Everything's great. Everything's great. Beautiful evening. Hope everybody's doing okay.
You just look like you just got out the gym.
About an hour ago.
Okay.
Been home. I've eaten, so I'm ready to go.
You normally work out in the gym every day or every other day?
Every day. I exercise every day.
That's
sometimes
good, Dan.
Twice a day. Yeah.
We always got to keep our health up and definitely keep our mental health up as well, too.
Exactly. They actually go together.
But anyway, I want to dive in and I want to plug in with our viewers and listeners today on a very, very important topic and subject that we need to drive home to our viewers and listeners to let them know about how our federal government and the Biden administration is still pulling the fuckery moves on us, the taxpayers. But let me get into this video first so we can bring home to share with our viewers and listeners as to why I just made that statement, the way I made that statement. But let me play the video.
A new report claims that the State Department, listen to this, used taxpayer dollars, your money, to fund therapy sessions to help employees cope after Trump's win. These are federal employees. In California, Congressman Darrell Issa is demanding a private briefing by the end of today on the alleged sessions. He wants answers on how much money they cost the department, how many took place. Have these types of therapy sessions for employees ever taken place before? And if so, what events prompted them? Writing in a scathing letter to Secretary Blinken, quote, I am concerned that the department is catering to federal employees who are personally devastated by the normal functioning of American democracy through the provision of government-funded mental health counseling because Kamala Harris was not elected president of the United States. He continues, quote, it is disturbing that ostensibly nonpartisan government officials would suffer a personal meltdown over the results of a free and fair election. It is unacceptable that the department accommodates this behavior and subsidizes it with taxpayer dollars. You know, Todd, I immediately thought of my time in college campuses where kids are given emotional support animals during exam time. Mm-hmm. Only difference, these are foreign service officers of the United States. How do they handle foreign adversaries if they can't handle democracy?
That's the question. And I love every part of Isa's letter except for the following: ostensibly nonpartisan government officials. Isa knows that he's being tongue-in-cheek with that. He's getting cute with the language because 92.4% of the individuals in D.C. voted for one Kamala Harris. They're scared for their jobs because every part of D.C., regardless of whether it's a Republican or Democrat administration, is Democrat. I mean, everybody who works in those government offices is by and large a Democrat. They know Trump and Doge are coming after them. They're going to lose their jobs if they don't toe the company line, which is being nonpartisan, which is what you're supposed to be in the first place.
D.C., one of two areas in the country that did not trend right, proving your point. Dagan, this part struck me too. This is a Free Beacon, great reporting on their part. They say sources described one informal meeting held for Near Eastern Affairs Bureau staffers as a cry session over Trump's win. An agency-wide email also touted an insightful webinar where we delve into effective stress management techniques to help you navigate these challenging times. This is taxpayer money, and they're crying over Trump.
These are the same type of people who won't go back into the office. not one out of 24 agencies in one quarter last year had even half of the staff back in federal office buildings. Not one. So you're asking to lose your job, quite frankly. But I do see the need in this if it alleviates the pain that friends and family members experience, because these individuals have to basically find their therapy by attacking and yelling at people close to them, which I personally have experienced, like, you know, getting phone calls and getting screamed at about mass deportation.
Yeah, Tammy, it's bigger than one agency. The Free Beacon also reports this, that the short answer is we won't change that because those are one of our core values. We're not going to sell out those values to anyone. We're not going to be bullied changing them. It goes on. But look, the part I was trying to highlight on that screen was one U.S. official with knowledge of the session said that during the Biden-Harris term in office, there have been an overemphasis on people's feelings, often with a college campus-like fervor.
Yeah.
This is the federal government.
It's the federal government. And you can imagine how appealing this is to foreign agents in the country, that you've got foreign worker, you know, our own foreign service workers who are vulnerable, who are crying during the day, because they hate who became president, they hate what the country is doing. Suddenly they become, I think, a more viable mark if you want to get somebody who's unhappy. But I really like Isaac asking what materials were used in these sessions and what was the agenda, because they're not talking about trying to get over something. They're organizing. That's what I contend. Having come from the left, you get people together and there's a gathering of trying to understand what your feelings are. It's always about organizing, how to get back at people, how to make something as you want it to be. It is not about coping. It is about how to resist. This is why I love this. What materials were used? What was the agenda? Are you doing this overseas? That kind of stuff. And that's what we're going to find out. It's going to be very, very educational.
So let me ask you this right here, Dan. Let me just get this clear. So basically, what just transpired and what just happened is that the Biden administration, right along with Biden, took taxpayers' dollars and gave it over there to all those government employees over there and the whole government administration, the Democrat government administration over there, monies from the taxpayer to fund and to give to them for therapy because Kamala Harris did not win the election?
Exactly. Basically, the federal government is paying for their therapies. And I can guarantee their therapy. I can guarantee you this. If you think it was just in the State Department, then I got some oceanfront property in Texas. I mean, in Kansas, I'll sell you. Because I can tell you it was pervasive throughout the administration. This is why the Doge organizations, I mean, the vision that's going to be set up in the Trump administration is going to be
explain what the Doge
and Vivek Ramaswamy. They're going to go in basically.
Let me stop you for a minute. Let me ask you this question, then I'll let you continue. Explain to our viewers and our listeners, what is this Doge?
It's an acronym for Department of Government Efficiency. Basically, they're going to go in and go through every agency and make it more efficient. They're going to cut jobs. They're going to eliminate processes. They're going to eliminate regulations, because most regulations are not congressionally, have not passed Congress. Mm-hmm. They're not congressionally created or mandated. Most of them were created. Most of these regulations and stuff were created through executive orders by various presidents throughout history. Most people think those rules and those regulations that come from high and from these organizations like the EPA and FTC and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Those are through executive orders for the most part. They're not congressionally, their origins are not congressional. They are not laws. They're not laws. They haven't passed Congress and signed by the president. They were executive orders coming from the executive branch, from the White House, from the president. Mm-hmm. And it filtered down through these different agencies. They're directives, most of these regulations. And hiring all these federal government employees, for the most part, came through executive orders. Okay. Whatever. Not through congressional laws. Okay, bills then that turned
Through
into law.
executive orders.
Most people don't know that. Most the public is clueless to that. So, by virtue of executive orders, Trump can give these guys, Ramaswamy and Musk, the power to go in and clean house. And this is a prime example of the kind of crap we've been paying for. This is ridiculous.
Taking
These
taxpayers,
people are
taking taxpayers' dollars to give over there to the state and the government, Democratic employees, monies to get therapy because Kamala Harris lost the damn election.
But these are grown ass people. These people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. They're acting like children. But this is all.
Has that ever been done before?
This woke bullshit that's been pervasive ever since Barack Obama took office.
Has that ever been done before? Has that ever been done before?
This has been going on for since Obama took office. This kind of crap. It was going on under Trump, but he was busy being on the defensive, fighting this Russian collusion crap and these 2 impeachments and stuff to stop this kind of stuff because he was preoccupied with self-preservation and just trying to keep his head above water because the Democrats are coming at him from all different directions. Plus, he had inexperienced people around him in this first administration. That's not going to happen this time. But yes, this is emblematic. This is emblematic of the kind of crap that's been going on for definitely the last 4 years, but actually ever since Obama took office. This stuff goes back to Obama. People just weren't paying attention. The public was not paying attention with this kind of crap. But this stuff has been going on for 15 years, okay? This kind of crap. And this, just like the wokeness in the military and all this other kind of stuff. And they're pushing, they're sicking the FBI on people who go to school board meetings and complain about transsexual boys sharing bathrooms with their daughters after soccer practice and stuff like that.
Wow.
Or wanted to play on the volleyball and soccer team. This stuff is all a part of the same. It's all of the same, okay?
Yeah.
It's part of the same agenda. They've done this in the government. It goes in these colleges where these colleges now do not train these young people to be functional members of society. They indoctrinate them and train them to be leftist idiots.
Let's take
Kids come out of colleges now as go ahead.
Let's take a quick commercial break so we can pay the bills.
Okay.
My name is Malik Davis. I'm effective and I'm efficient when it comes down to producing those credit results. I don't play around. Yeah, I have a lot of shrewdness with me and a lot of aggressiveness with me, but I get the job done and my clients appreciate that.
There's a dude by the name of Malik. We call him Malik, the credit guru. He goes in and cleans up everything.
What type of clients do I service? I service them all. Blue collar, white collar, doctors, lawyers, actors, singers. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't have time for your games. I don't have time for your bullshit. Either you want your credit fixed or either you don't.
And one of the reasons why my credit is incredible because I got Malik Davis 211 credit guru. This is not an endorsement. This is knowledge.
Either you want your credit fixed or either you don't. Either you want me to properly educate you and lead you to where you need to be led so you can obtain the things that you need to obtain, or you don't. You seeking my services out. Don't tell me what it is that you want to do when you're seeking my services out, because I'm telling you what you need to do.
No matter how much money you got, that credit got to be right. So I can always depend on my boy Malik Davis to make sure my credit is always right. No matter how much money you got in this world, your credit is crucial. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's tight, make sure it's right. Check him out.
Welcome back to the school. Dan, go ahead and resume.
But these kids come out of college, they get these government jobs. They needed that safe spaces over the last 10 or 15 years in these colleges. These colleges gave them, because if you said something that a student doesn't like or whatever, they will go to the dean or whomever and complain that this guy hurt my feelings, or this woman hurt my feelings and stuff like that. So they come out of college with this same kind of entitled mentality, and then they go work for these government agencies and stuff, and then they get their feelings hurt because they've been trained with this leftist this left ideology and stuff. They've been indoctrinated. Their brain, they're stupid. They come out stupid. They may be educated in one sense, but they have no ability to critically think. They do not. So they go and get these government jobs, and they are all in the tank for the Democrats because the Democrats allowed them to stay home. You still have over half the federal government employees that still work out of their houses.
Wow.
This is insane. 4 years after COVID.
So it's going to be a lot of people. So it's getting ready to be a lot of people that's getting ready to lose their jobs when Trump.
They're going to lose it. They're going to get their asses back to work, or they're going to lose their jobs. They are still working at home. A lot of these people. For 4 years, they've been working at home on the public dime, or the public dole.
Taxpayers.
The taxpayers. Exactly.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that the Biden administration, Biden or whatever, I don't even like to call him President Biden, but Biden, do you think he used this right here as far as giving government employees funding or whatever to get therapy because Kamala Harris lost? Do you think by taking from the taxpayers for that purpose as to what Biden said he's using that money for, as far as giving the government employees therapy because of Kamala Harris lost? Do you think that he's now taking money from the taxpayers to give over there to Ukraine, since he just cracked and asked Congress about a week ago for another $100 billion to send over there to Ukraine on his way out?
I equate that to when, he's leaving office.
Yeah, but do you think?
No, that's what I'm saying. You get my point.
Yeah.
He's leaving office, and I think he wants to, regarding to Trump, he wants to definitely make it as difficult as possible for Trump when he gets in office, because he knows Trump campaigned on ending that war. What is he doing now? He's escalating the war.
Exactly.
He's finally shipped out some missiles and some weaponry.
He gave Lizinski the green light to go ahead and shoot those long range missiles over there into Russia.
Exactly. Plus, he shipped more armament. Okay, he shipped more armament and more the stuff that they've been begging for 2 years. Now all of a sudden he's shipping it on his way out.
Wow.
And that's escalating the war because Russia retaliated with hypersonic
World War III.
We're on the precipice. So that shows you what kind of a son of a bitch Biden really is. He doesn't give a crap about America ultimately possibly entering into this war, direct war with Russia, a hot war with Russia. He doesn't. These people, you have to understand the ethos of that. You have to understand how Democrats work. If they don't get their way, they're going to crash and burn. I equate this, and I'm getting into history a little bit, when Napoleon went into Russia, went into Moscow, and it looked like when he was, a month out, and the Russians knew they were going to lose Moscow. So what they did, they burned the damn place down.
Yeah.
And then when Napoleon got there, it was totally empty. And he said, what the hell is going on here? I'm here to enlighten you guys and all that kind of stuff. And then while he was there, the Russians that had fled the city were burning this beautiful city down. Okay. And that's what Biden is Russia. Is the Russian. He's okay. I got screwed. You defeated. You made my life a living hell, Trump. You won, but I'm about to make your life a living hell, basically.
So basically,
I don't give a shit. I don't give a crap about America. I don't care about America.
So basically, what Biden is saying is pretty much scorched earth.
Exactly. He said, okay, we're going to escalate the war now. We're going to escalate the war. Deal with that, Trump. You said you said you can end this war, immediately upon re-entering office. Let's see if you can do it. I'm going to escalate. Lizinski said Trump comes in, he feels like Trump will end this war. That's what Lizinski said. Ukrainian president said.
But that's what you want. You want the war to be ended. That's what we want.
Because he knew that Trump knows how to negotiate. The people that the Biden's advisors Blinken and that Jake Sullivan jerk. They are nothing but chair-bound, faculty lounge theoreticians. They have no practical experience. I mean, their whole life is based on theory. Their whole approach to everything. That's why they've been look at the withdrawal from Afghanistan, a total nightmare. The worst military gaffe in American history. The most embarrassing event in the history of this country.
Yeah.
With our withdrawal from Afghanistan. And then Americans die. There's still Americans over there right now. And do you hear anything out of Biden about just trying to get those people out?
No.
Actually, private groups actually got more people out of Afghanistan after our military pulled out than our federal government did and our military. That's the fact.
Let's take a quick commercial break so we can pay the bills.
For me, cooking is an art. I like having fun. I'm not a chef, but I definitely love pancakes. Growing up, my grandfather always made pancakes with a crispy edge. So for me, when I make my pancakes, they have to have a crispy edge to it. I love food. I know people think vegans don't eat, but I eat. I love eating. And I do have a sweet tooth, so funnel cakes and pancakes, yeah, I'd say they're kind of my weakness.
Welcome back to the school. Go ahead, Dan. Let's resume on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, these people are an abject failure. Domestically, they've been an abject failure. We've got inflation. We've got the border wide open where between 10 to 20 million people have come in. We're not respected in the internationally. Biden, just look at that summit that we had down. They just had down there in South America. Mm-hmm. He was walking around the Amazon rainforest looking like a moron.
I seen that. I mean, he just wandered off.
He's just wandered off from the rest of it. And the media protected this man. I call him the Obama cabal, because most of the people that's in his administration, the brain trust in his administration are Obama people. Okay, they are Obama people. Susan Rice was up until a year ago when she left.
Yeah,
but she was his domestic. She was his chief domestic policy advisor. She was running this country domestically, and she's been an abject failure. She was an abject failure under Biden, and she's been an abject failure under Obama, and she's been an abject failure under Biden.
Wow!
But it's the Keystone Cops. They haven't accomplished anything positive for this country. America is a laughing stock. You can see now, ever since Trump won,
it is.
But ever since Trump won, other world leaders have been reaching out to him.
Yeah.
They've been reaching out to him, back channeling and everything. Okay, even the head of NATO, he's already been down to Mar-a-Lago. He was down there a couple of days ago, conferring with him, with Trump.
Yeah.
And they know there's a new sheriff in town and America will be respected again. And it's amazing to me when you look at this past election that Kamala Harris, Trump won. He won the popular vote, and then he won the electoral college by a landslide. But
so is that normal? So is that normal for individuals to seek monies from the taxpayers, these government employees and these government workers and state workers? Is that normal for them to receive monies from taxpayers to get therapy, Dan, because of a candidate loss?
Malik, that kind of stuff has been going on at least for the last 4 years, probably.
But is that normal though?
No, it's stupid.
Okay,
it should be. It's illegal. It should be illegal. You should not be taking taxpayers' money and paying for therapy for federal government employees. If they want to have therapy, they should be paying for their own damn selves out of their own salaries.
Or either take leave, or either take leave.
Did you notice, Malik? The average federal government employee makes twice what somebody makes in the private sector now. 40 years ago, it was the opposite. The average person in the private sector made twice what a federal government employee made. Now it's flipped on its head. The five of the 10 wealthiest zip codes in America around the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia area. Yes. There are people have gone up there and gotten fat and that's why And we've got over 3 million federal government employees in this country. Think about that.
That's
non-military federal government employees. You could get rid of 2/3 of them and the country would function. The federal government would function and not miss a beat. That's why every time they have these debt ceiling, and they try to, and it's time, when the continuing resolution runs out, and then they got to fund the government again for the next fiscal year and all that crap. And then the Democrats and the Republicans keep passing these continuing resolutions to fund the government and signing all it. And every time they do one of these resolutions, they have all kinds of pork and fat in there, all kinds of crap they be funding. They be sticking riders and stuff.
So that's what Musk and Vivek is going to be coming in there doing, is trimming down that fat.
Exactly. They're going to eliminate jobs. They're going to eliminate regulations. They're going to eliminate all this duplicity. All these duplicate functions and all that stuff. You got agencies. Some agencies doing the same thing, regulating You got overlaps. A lot of overlap in the federal government. Look at the banking industry. You got the Comptroller of Currency, the Federal Reserve, and there's one other agency. It escapes me right now. You got 3 agencies that regulate the banking, the national banking system. That's insane. It's just insane. And HUD, and in terms of the mortgage lending and all that stuff, Fannie Mae and Freddie and all of that's under HUD. I mean, all of that stuff, it's just insane when you think about the overlap and the wastefulness. And this is another thing that most people have no clue about this. When they do the budgets from year to year, they never cut the budget, Malik. It's just, when they say, well, we're going to cut spending, this is what they do. Let's just say the Defense Department, which is about $800 billion. It's the largest single.
You said 800 billion? You said 800 billion?
It's about $800 billion is what they spent annually on the military. And there's a lot of waste and fraud in that too, by the way. But anyway, let me get back to it. So let's just say let's say that it's projected to increase in fiscal 2025 or fiscal 2026 by 10%. So what they do when they create the new budget for fiscal 26, they say, well, we need to cut the spending in the military budget. So this is what they do. Instead of it being a 10% increase, it's a 5% increase. That's what those son of bitches mean by cutting. You understand what I'm saying, Malik? They don't really cut it. They need to go back to zero-based budgeting, so that you have to look at the budget every year, and then you need to cut it. If you got all this waste, instead of it being $850 billion, you need to cut it to $830 billion or $800 billion. Okay, they never do that. They just cut the increases, and these congressmen and senators will tell the damn public, okay, we've cut spending in these different departments in their budget and stuff. That's total bullshit. They have, in my lifetimes, those sons of bitches have never cut the damn budget in the department. They just tell you that shit, and then they tell you they're going to cut it, but they cut the increase. And that's what those sons of bitches call cutting the budget. The Republicans and Democrats do it. Both parties do it.
Let's take a quick commercial break so we can pay the bills.
Sometimes we let the outside noise tap into our biggest insecurities. But like the river, like a waterfall flowing with ease, it's time to cleanse those thoughts. Melt away your fears, water you, lean into a confident you. With IVRX, I'm just leaning into the best version of me.
Welcome back to the school. Dan, you on a roll, boy. I see you hot over there, boy. It's a
It is, but they know 98% of the damn public has no clue how stuff goes on in Washington. If you just look at the damn budget, you can pull it up. You can Google the thing and pull it up. But they never cut the budget. It doesn't matter who's in power. If it's a Republican in the White House or a Democrat, it's worse on the Democrats. And you could have Republican Congress, Senate, and House. And then when they pass these budgets or they do these continuing resolutions, they never cut any department. They never cut. And that's what DOGE is going to do. The Congress is going to listen, because see, the spending that people don't realize is spending.
Now they plan on doing this. They plan on doing this within the first 100 days.
Yes. See, spending originates in the House of Representatives. It doesn't it doesn't originate in the president's office or the executive branch. And then now he has people and he has influence with the House and the senators and the representatives and the senators. And these are some things. These are my priorities. This is what I want passed. Okay, these are the things I want funded and kind of stuff. But they have to originate in the House. And then the House approves the Senate, and then it goes to the president for his signature. And he can either veto the budget or these laws or these bills or, or sign off on them. But what DOGE is going to do is coordinate with the House on these spending priorities and stuff like that. And then things that are already in place in these agencies, they're going to go into these different agencies, like I said, and cut and shred all these doggone all these regulations that are just superfluous, restraining, just constraining the economy, infringing upon our rights as citizens and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're going to be doing. But they'll also be working with Congress on these budgets and stuff. And cutting the funding where it needs to be cut, and then instilling and putting in accountability in these budgets and stuff. So they're gonna have a two-prong attack. They're gonna be working with Congress, and they're gonna be working within the different agencies in the executive branch, cutting existing situations, crap out of all these agencies and stuff. And then also with the budgets and stuff, upcoming budgets, they'll be working with them too. And see, they'll be reporting directly to the president. Musk and Vivek will be reporting directly to Trump. Well, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Well, we just wanted to plug in with our viewers and listeners today to really let them know where their taxpayer dollars has went, basically to these government employees over here on the Democratic side, to give them some type of therapy, because the person who they wanted to win, which is Kamala Harris, did not win. And they have completely lost their fucking minds over there and taken your taxpayer dollars to get this type of therapy that they seeking, or whatever the case might be, which is just totally crazy to me. But just wanted to chime in with our viewers and listeners today.
Can I say one other thing, Malik? Can I say one other thing? People, just think about this. I mean, just think about the fact, if you know that's going on, you know there's a lot of other craps going on right under our noses. Y'all need to stop paying attention and start paying attention. Forget about the housewives of Atlanta and LA and all this other bullshit and stuff like that. You need to keep up with what's going on in DC. And don't give me that BS about, well, it's out of my control. You vote. And you guys made a difference this past 3 weeks ago.
Yes, you did.
Can make a difference in this.
Yes, you did.
You need to stay abreast of what's going on in DC and in your state capitals, because they do affect you. They affect you, and they affect your family, and they affect your livelihood.
And your tax dollars. And your tax dollars. And your tax dollars.
And that is just the tip of the iceberg, people. That is the tip of the iceberg of all the crap and shenanigans and fraud and waste that's going on in DC.
And with that, you heard what Mr. Dan Green said. Stay tuned to the next episode of The Score. Like this YouTube channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click on the bell notification for all upcoming episodes. And stay in tune and stay plugged. And with that, peace.
If only you knew, you would call up the credit guru. Now I'm good with the credit bureau. Now I'm good with the credit bureau. Went from 540 to a 750. New credit lines, I'ma push the limit. See signs of Christ all through the city.
MalikDavis.com